Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to do a backtesting session and I'm going to apply my strategy, my scalping strategy that is based on DTFX concepts. I used to trade it on the 1 minute time frame, but I got a lot of requests on the comment section and in my Twitter DM from people asking me to apply it on the 15-minute time frame. So maybe scalping isn't for them, maybe the 1 minute is too fast, maybe I don't know, the spreads, right, the fees, maybe they need a slower time frame to think about all the variables in the market, right? So this video is for them. This is how you can apply the sweep to zone strategy in the 15-minute time frame, right? So my strategy basically is simple. I did a lot of videos about it, right? You can always go to the videos I'm gonna put on the description, 2 videos, detailed explanation of the model, but it is basically, we have a zone, we have put in a low price sweeps this low, and then we're gonna need some confirmation inside here to take price higher, right? So basically this is my model. And it works on all time frame, right? So whatever I'm doing on the 1 minute, on the 5 second, on the 15 seconds, it works on every single time frame, on the daily, weekly, monthly, right? So once you understand this, reading price will become easier for you guys, right? So we're gonna apply this right here. Of course, this needs more context into it, right? So not just the pattern. So this is why I'm doing these videos, to understand how you can put more context into a pattern, right, and trade it successfully. And believe me, this is all you need to succeed, right? All you need is one kick and study all the variations of it, backtest it, demo trade it, gather data, and now you have an edge. Now all you have to do is to work on your psychology. So the time frames we're going to use for this backtesting session, we're going to use the 15-minute for execution, right? We're also going to use the 1 hour, sometimes a 30-minute, but most of the times the 1 hour for a higher time frame, right? We're not going to go under the 15-minute, so we're going to stay only on the 15-minute for execution, right? And we're going to backtest a whole week. We're going to try to take at least 1 trade per day, but I'm not going to force anything, right? On the 1 minute, this strategy is guaranteed that it will give you at least 1 trade per day. But on the 15-minute, we don't want to force anything. If the opportunity is there, we're going to take it. If not, moving on to the next day, right? So let's get started. First of all, let's get a random day from here, right? And we're going to choose Monday, right? We're going to start from the beginning of the week all the way to Friday, right? So let's get our date. All right, so we have this date, right? Let's go into FX replay and let's get started. All right, so we are ready to go. So here's how you're gonna play it, right? I'm gonna move forward, and when I see an opportunity, when I see a setup, I'm gonna stop and tell you why this is a valid setup. We're gonna take the trade, see the outcome, and then review what happened, right? So let's get started. As always, we're gonna use the 15-minute to execute, right? But let's go to the 1 hour and see what's going on the higher time frame, because we're gonna need that, right? So first of all, let's move price into 10:30 a.m. I usually start there from the 1 minute, but let's start from 10 a.m. since we're going to use the 15-minute time. Okay, so this is good. So this is the 1 hour time frame, right? Let's do some analysis on it. You want to outline the sweeps. We also have a sweep right here. So we are taking a liquidity on both sides. We are also inside this zone. Again, this is the 15-minute time frame, so I'm not expecting a lot of trades per day, right? Maybe 1, maybe none. We're going to wait for the next day, right? we have a whole week of trading. But if I'm trading the lower time frames, of course, I could have taken a trade or two inside this. But let's stick to the 15-minute trade. As you can see, we don't have sweeps at all, so your trigger should be the sweep, right? When you see a sweep, that's your trigger, not to take the trade, but to consider if this is valid or not. Of course, you need the trade, you need a sweep, you need a zone, you need to close back inside the range, right? The CSS, so all that good stuff. All right, so this is the first day and with no trades at all. So let's move on to the next day, all right? This is Monday, so this is why we don't have a lot of volatility, especially on time frames like the 15, the 1 hour. Let's move on to 10:30 from or 10 a.m. All right, so we are in. This is 10:30. Price is still in a range, right? We are stuck between this high and this low. This is only a sweep on the 1 hour, practically still inside these two swings, right? So we can trade this internal structure, but be careful. You don't want to be buying or trading right here at the middle of the range unless you are taking quick scalps, right? So here we have a sweep, right? We are inside the zone. This was triggered at 10 a.m. We have all this liquidity above us, right? But it looks like that we missed the setup, right? I usually enter from the 30%. Let's see if price is going to give us another opportunity. I want to target these highs right here, but if price target or tops these highs without giving me an entry, I'm going to remove the limit, right? So let's see what's going to happen. All right, see, the setup was missed. This should be the entry from here, right? Here or here. And as you can see, beautiful setup was presented itself, right? So let's remove this. Now we don't have any targets, so this is not valid for us anymore, right? So let's move on. Other opportunities will arise. Let's see. But overall, beautiful. As you can see, we are inside this zone right here, right? We swept this high, started trading higher, swept this low, left a lot of liquidity or smooth edges above us, right? CSS after the sweep, confirming that price is likely to trade to the upside, right? Return back inside the range and beautiful leg to the upside. Okay, so now we have another opportunity. We have a sweep right here. Let's remove all of these zones. We have a beautiful sweep. This is one responsible for the sweep. We close above it right here with this candle. We are inside the zone. So let's see if this is going to give us a nice entry from here. And let's target 2R, right? Okay, we are in. A beautiful 2R, right? Beautiful. It was at the last trading hour. So let's explain to you this trade one more time. First of all, we have this zone right here, price given entry from here. We missed that. We swept this low, right? So when you see a sweep, when you see price failing to close below the swing, that suggests what? Weakness. So price is unable to break below this, and this suggests that price will likely to reverse. So we have this probability, add that to that we are inside the zone, right? Add also the probability that we have also this smooth edges to the upside, so we have something to target, right? So a beautiful entry, but we didn't trade that. So if you're trading the 15-minute, I suggest you trade after 9:30, right? You don't want to waste any time because you probably have one setup per day, right? Or two. You don't want to miss that, right? And so we missed that because we traded after 10 a.m., right? But it was beautiful. One more time, returning to the zone. We have this zone right here, the break of structure. We swept this low, right? So you have two types of swings that you want to be swept. We have a swing like this, which is not part of the zone, right? So let me give you an explanation of it. This is the first type of a swing. So we have the break of structure above this. We tapped one more time, or we tapped one time into it, right? One more time sweeping this low and then trading to the upside, right? So this low was put in after the break of structure. The second type of low, and I prefer this, right? This is high probability. The second type of low is something like this. This is also valid, right? So you can take trades from it. So this low is part of the zone, right? It was put in before the break of structure. In this case, we have this one right here, right? So this low was part of the zone before the break of structure, right? So we swept it, and we have the CSS confirmation right here. So this is the sequence. We have the zone, we have sweep inside the zone, we have close back inside the range. We don't want to see boundary closure. The CSS confirmation, return back inside the range. For me, I like to take from the 30%, but if price is strongly bullish or strongly bearish, I'm going to take it at 0% of the zone, right? But since we are in a range, kind of a range, right? So I took it from the 30%, right? So beautiful entry, right? Now let's move on to the next. Let's remove everything. It looks like that we have some news. So let's let the 9:30 equity open pass the volatility, and we're going to start by 9:45, right? All right, so let's start. Let's go back to the 1 hour, right? See what's going on. It looks like that we left the range, and see how the expansion to the upside, they all start by a sweep. The sweep is the one that can trigger the expansions. So for example, this sweep right here trigger this expansion. We have another sweep right here and it triggers this expansion. One more time sweep inside here. This was our trade and it triggered another expansion to the upside. Price stopped. We have a sweep here, as you can see, beautiful sweep, and then another expansion, right? So it looks like that we are heavily bullish to the upside. So we're not going to need the left side of the market. We're going to focus only on the right side of the market too. And since we don't have really a lot of zones on the 1 hour, we're going to use a 15-minute time frame, right? So the 1 hour, you're going to need it for general direction, right? All right, so we have some lows right here that we can sweep them. All right. We are returning to the previous range. So let's take our trade from here, right? All right, so here we have a potential setup. You can see that we swept this, we are inside the zone, right? And maybe you can have like a V-shaped recovery. I don't know. V-shaped recovery is something like this basically. So a lot of times price will drop lower heavily and then will immediately reverse to the upside, especially a higher time frame. If we are bullish on the higher time frame, I don't know that, but this could be the case. So I'm gonna take my entry from the 30% as always. And I think I'm gonna target this zone, right? I don't want to be greedy. Let's target maybe the 30% of this zone. This should be right here. All right. So let's take the trade. All right, so price topped us in. Let's see. Okay, beautiful. Let's see how much price will go to the upside. Maybe you're gonna see a run above this high, maybe. So let's see. All right, we don't have that. All right, so we don't have that. Anyway, price gave us a nice trade from here. It was another 2R, but see this precision or this 30% top into here. If you are trading with CFDs, I don't believe you're gonna get into this trade, right? So the spread is a bit high, and this was like exactly the 30%, right? So if you're trading US 100, be careful with the trades, right? But if you're trading with futures, so price will fill your order right here. So beautiful trade, and look at this. Look how price rejected heavily from the 30%, right? Since we are targeting 2R, price give us exactly 2R from the 30% to the 30% of this zone. So this is really, really beautiful. And if your execution is sloppy, you could have taken a break-even trade from here. So if maybe you entered late, right, you targeted 2R, but you should be aware of what's going on around you. So let's say, for example, you entered from here and you are targeting, I don't know, the 50% or something like this. When you see price trading to the upside and then rejected from the 30%, right? And you are inside and you are still in the trade, you should put your break even right here. It doesn't worth it, guys, right? It doesn't worth it to hold all the way to here, price coming back all the way to this zone right here to the drawdown, right? You are in drawdown right now and you want to take or make another high. There will be always another opportunities, right? So it's better when price is almost at your TP, put break even, right? It's better for your mental state. So let's remove all of this, and price give us another beautiful 2R, right? Let's see. Let's move on now to the next day. So this is Wednesday. Let's see if we're gonna get another winner or a loser. But since we are taking 2Rs, right? It's better for psychology, especially if you are a beginner. All right, so we have a couple of news. Okay, so this was so a lot of people will see this as choppy conditions, right? But if you understand market structure, you have seen the precision on the 30% of those two zones. You can see that there is sweeps before each expansion, right? Price is reacting perfectly from zones and from lows and highs, right? So this is not choppy at all. If you know how to read market structure, right? So what do we have on the 1 hour? Not much. We have this zone right here, but price already mitigated this, but we could get a reaction from it. So this is a previous candle that swept this low, right? And then price moved away from it, right? And it is giving a reaction from the 50%. We can see that. Let's go to the 15 minute and see what's going on. You can see that we swept this into the 50%, right? We don't have a lot of structure to work with. So when price is heavily bearish or heavily bullish, you have two choices. You can either go to the lower time frames and look for entries, or stay with your execution time frame and be patient, right? We have a sweep right here, but I don't take this kind of trades anymore because I don't want to reverse this whole move to the downside, right? We are bearish, so this looks like a pullback, right? I don't believe we have some zone to the left, right? But this seems more like a pullback rather than an expansion, right? Let's see if we're gonna sweep maybe this one right here for the continuation. All right, we don't have that. All right, so we don't have a sweep at all. But we can see that this right here has worked, and it is actually the expansion. But it's better to stay with the current trend, right? Beautiful from the 50%, as you can see, right? And this was the end of the day, right? So basically this was the only setup that was provided, and I didn't take it as I didn't want to reverse this trend, right? So let's move on to Friday, right? This is the last day. We have some news. So since we have news at 10 a.m., we're gonna start trading after 10 a.m., right? All right, so let's see what's going on. Let's remove this one more time to the 1 hour. See what's going on. All right, let's remove everything for now. We can see that we have some sweeps right here. This zone right here is the SNDR. So it is the one responsible for breaking this, and also this. Price returned back into it, started trading down one more time, trading into it, and we failed to close above it. We also have a sweep inside this, right? Failed to close above this high. Now we are trading lower. This could be the target, but let's see what the 15-minute is telling us, right? On the 15-minute, we have this sweep right here. All right, we still have this target. Let's see if price is going to give us an entry from here. So this is my target. I want to enter from the 30%. My stop loss is here. And I'm going to target this. So let's see what's going to happen, right? If we take a loser, that's all right. We are already up 4R for the week. All right, so it was a loser. There was news, actually. This was Paul speaking. I missed that, unfortunately, but let's keep going, right? I wonder if we have SMTs on this low. So as you can see, this is the model happening on the other direction. This is something I wanted to make a video about, so maybe the next video is going to be about it. So as you can see, the model is printing in the other side, right? The break of structure happened with this candle. All right, let's move price. And this would be the end of the trading session and the end of the week, right? So as you can see, this is something you wanted me to do, how you can apply this on the 15-minute, right? And this is how you can do it. You use the 1 hour for direction, and you also use the 15 minutes. So you can see the 1 hour clearly using the 15-minute time frame, right? You can see the details of it. If the 1 hour is not really obvious, if you don't have a lot of highs and lows to work with, you can always, like for example this, and not a lot of highs and lows to work with, you can always go to the 15-minute but zoom in like this. So this is how you can see the 15-minute and the 1 hour, right, with more details. So the model provided at least one setup per day. Not all of them was a plus, right? But if you follow the plan, if you follow the model, if you stick to a fixed risk management and you don't mess things up when you are in drawdown, you don't elevate the risk, you don't reduce the risk. If you stay with the same risk, the model will make you profitable, right? So if you, like for example, if the model has 60 or 70% win rate, if you started reducing your risk after losses, that's all gonna work, right? You are basically messing with the probabilities, right? So one final thing that I want to mention is that you need to adjust your expectations based on the time frame you are using, right? So if you are using the 1 minute and you are maybe considering going to the 15-minute, right? You need to understand that not every day the market will provide multiple setups. The market will provide one setup using this strategy, and I believe in other strategies also. The 15-minute has less candles during the day, right? So make sure to set your alerts, right? For me personally, I trade the 1 minute time frame, right? This is my honest opinion. I trade the 1 minute. I like the 1 minute. It offers multiple opportunities per day, right? If I want to finish early, I can go even lower to the 15-second time frame, right? And I can find decent opportunities. But if the 15-minute fits your personality, this is how you can use it, right? So I believe this is the end of this video. If you have any other questions, you can always DM me on my Twitter account or leave a comment down below and I will answer you as soon as I can. Now, happy trading and good luck.